Hello, everyone. Good day to you, and may I just say, good luck following this one. The group truly gave me a run for my money. They truly surprised me. With that, I should say my name is Darian, and this is the fourth session of the Giraffivores campaign. We start off the session in the town of Bendersham, a small outpost on the outskirts of the wilderness around Dragonmount. In this town, the mayor had been murdered, and the party had been accused of the crime. Allowed to prove their obvious innocence, and they're allowed to stay in the mayor's house for the time being, seeing that it is unneeded. While there, Maestrom begins to dig a grave for the mayor, as they discover he's still in the house, unburied. His murder having occurred that morning, he's surprisingly decayed. He's bloated, rotted, his body is horrendously unrecognizable. Maestrom begins digging a grave, stating that everyone receives the last embrace of the mother, even dark friends. Jean holds a vigil for the mayor, and Adel keeps watch out the window of the mayor's bedroom. We will see evidence later, not for the first time, that Adel is indeed Bruce Wayne reborn. Barrett keeps watch with Island for a while, and then he goes to relieve Maestrom of his grave digging. Ferretin keeps watch all night. No one sleeps. Upon a small amount of investigation, they find a chest in his room, with a key on a hook on the wall. The chest contains notes, it contains papers, documents, and records of the mayor, the tanner, several other members of the council being in league together, working with some unnamed dark friends. They are selling them slaves, young and old, in exchange for keeping the town on the map. Bendersham is dying, and the Dark Friends, prominent members of society, one and all, have organized a road being built from Bendersham to Tarvalin, and trade deals to keep the town from drying up. Maestrom had noticed something shifty when they arrived in town about some of those in charge, and now we know what it is. Dark Friends. Island notices something strange at this time. Something he read from a history book while he was perusing the shelves at a library. He does that a lot. This corpse, its corruption, it reeks of the taint that was known to have ruined Eredhall. Yes, this is the infestation of Shadar Lobeth. At this point, though, Island's player commented on how stupid these Dark Friends must be for keeping their evil so well documented. Barrick said they should get proof of the Tanner's corruption by getting some of his handwriting from his shop, and Island suggests a receipt. Ferretin and Zakub decide to sneak onto the Tanner's property to see what he can find. Jean thinks the smartest and least resistant path is to attempt to exploit the division between the blacksmith and the tanner. Adel decides to accompany Jean, Maestrom decides to accompany Island, and Barrick has decided to stay and search the mayor's house for more clues and possible hidden rooms. When confronted by Island and Maestrom, the tanner, named Turnham, immediately asks them if they're the ones that killed the mayor. He overcharges Island for the saddle and tries to charge him 50 gold marks for the bridle and tack. In the notes, in the message, I misspelled bridle in my haste and spelled it Bridal. So the group decided to make that canon. So they now have a horse-sized bridal dress with their new saddle, which they promptly dress the horse in. Island refuses to pay the 50 gold, however, but the tanner will go no less than 20. Still overpriced. While doing this, Island attempts to look around for any paper with Turnham's handwriting on it, but finds nothing. At this point, Turnham notices and gives them a receipt, but not before Island's player says he's going to post a bad review online about the store and the service. That was nice. Everyone's always appreciative of the DM and his He's very nice people. I mean, he's a dark friend, so whatever. Then the tanner heads into the back to grab the saddle, and while he's back there, he's heard arguing with some voice. It's clear the other voice is ordering him to do something he doesn't want to do. He returns with the tack and bridle and the receipt. It matches. The handwriting matches. Yep, that's right. The horse is getting flamin' hitched. So Barrick has been searching the house up and down. He finds no secret doors in the first floor nor the basement. But while he's down there, he finds a scrap of dead black cloth on the basement stairs, and it reeks of Thakandar to him. The black of the cloth seems almost to eat the light. Murdraw? The second floor shows nothing else of doors either, but a second look revealed that the mayor and Tanner were embezzling funds from the town's treasury, which just cemented their opinion that not only were these people dark friends, they just kind of sucked in general. So this takes him half of the day or so. Jean pulls out a small mirror in colors and powders, and she does much of what Liana Sadai did after the events of Elida's comeuppance. She elicits a small comment from Adel, and then she sets out with him. She attempts to chip her knife for the blacksmith to repair, and after butchering a strength check, horribly destroys the knife. She snaps the blade in two, and pretty much off at the handle, which she then hands to the blacksmith and asks if he can do something to fix that. He's taken aback at her and her attempts at the subtle art of flustering a man, and that has the blacksmith on his heels. He hands her a replacement blade, and Jean presses him about the tanner. After a moment, he admits that the tanner has always been shifty and not to trust him. He's been meeting with strange folk, so Dag says, and a strange man in a black cloak with the hood pulled up. When Dag, the blacksmith, confronted the tanner, he called him crazy and ran off. After an insight check, the blacksmith seems to be telling the truth, and it seems the friend disappears at the slightest notice. The party is given more proof of a murder. The peddler, Malden, seems to be involved as well. Ferredin searches the tanner all through the town. He searches for the tanner. He searches on the rooftops and gets to the tree line and makes a pretty successful attempt at jumping through the trees to get to the roof of the tanner's building. He is not seen, and he sneaks in through a window on the roof. He hides in a pile of scraps and overhears the conversation that Island and Maestrom heard Turnham having in the back of the shop. Zakub has been following along very well and is even quiet now. Turnham is talking with a half-man. He disappears. Then the tanner scrambles off with the saddle and the flaming dress, and Ferredin finds some documents. He dips out the window, he smacks his head on a tree trunk, and runs to the house, determined to make this dark friend and the Fade with him meet a bloody end. The party meets at the mayor's house. They discuss what they all have found. They agree to show the evidence to the blacksmith, not to the council. They don't trust the council. They cannot shake the feeling that they can't trust them. They still really don't trust Dag either, it seems, but they're willing to see what he has to say about the evidence that they've gathered. It's pretty clear that the stranger Dag mentioned was the Fade that Ferredin saw, and who clearly must be the owner of the cloak scrap that Barrick found. Dag promises the support of the council after a little hesitation and reads the papers. His betrothed was apparently killed by Malden, and he strode off to confront them. When the party checked around the tanner's house to see if the Fade had been by recently, they attempted to take the saddle for a refund to confront Turnham. Ferredin climbs on the roof, and Adel, Maestrom, and Island enter through the front door. Jean and Barrick both camp out at the back door, covering all the bases and all entrances. A bit of a banter begins to break out, and This is where stuff gets weird. Well, weird. Island confronts the tanner about the outrageous price of the saddle. I mean, even with the custom horse bridle dress, 20 gold for a saddle, that's outrageous. It's preposterous. Before he would accept the saddle back, though, Turnham says, "You got your receipt?" And with one of the party members, one of the party whips out they whip out a tablet ter'androidal. A ter'androidal. A ter'androidal. To snap a photo of the receipt. I was told, this is canon. Deal with it. So here we are. Smartphones in the Age of Legends that survived the breaking. But it's just a picture taker to them right now. So but wait, there's more. Island keeps the dress, claiming that they intend to have a horse marriage. I see no tux, so runaway horse bride. She's eloping. At this point, though, Adel walks up and looks Turnham right in the eye and asks him if he's a dark friend. I'm going to say again that I've always imagined Adel as the Mayen or Batman. Batman, as it were. Well, when he leans up, he asks him two things due to some misunderstanding because of the chaos of the Discord chat. Not only did he ask if he was a dark friend, he asked if, do you have cake, and are you a dark friend? Just like Batman. And the group loved this. They lost their mind. I lost my mind. They laughed. I laughed. The tanner was dumbfounded. I mean, wouldn't you be? And then the second question sunk in. I should also mention they wanted to know if the tanner was thick with two C's. You know. With this, Turnham breaks down. He begins to blame Dag, them, everyone and anyone he can. He said that they killed the mayor. Just like that. He finally confesses that Maldum killed the mayor, and just then a door clicks shut behind them, and two Fades arrive. One is taller. They also claim that Murdral looked like Keanu Reeves, so now we have Merge Reeves. With that, the taller one speaks to them, telling them that the Great Lord's power is mighty, his reach is great, and to respect that power. And with that, a vision that resembles Baal Zaman appears before them all, and tells them the Great Lord of the Dark cannot take them interfering much longer. The tanner is destroyed by meeting his lord, and his eyes explode in their sockets. He's overcome by the meat. And with that, the fight breaks out. The team seems to make fairly quick work of the Fade. 6-on-1, they do fairly well. They're a good team. During the battle, Barrack's axe is set ablaze by Jean's weave. Faradin is caught in an eyeless gaze and breaks free almost immediately. The fight is over quickly enough, though, and they all feel as if they made it out of the encounter easy. Macerim is wounded by the death throes of the thrashing half-man, and just when everything seems great, a horn sounds, and the town and the night around it is rent with the cries of Shadowspawn, howls of dark friends, howls of dark hounds, shrill cries of Draghar, and the dull roar of at least 3 fists of Trollocs descend upon the town, blowing their war horns at the behest of at least 10 Fades. It seems the party, the town, are done for. It seems that all hope is lost, but then the skies above them near Dragon Mount open up, and just in that small area where you can see, a man appears with gray eyes, and he just obliterates the forces of the Dark One, screaming in pain and rage as light fire erupt from him, and the ground underneath the shadow spawn opens up to meet them. He screams in rage and pain, in loss and anguish. Light pours from his eyes, his mouth, his ears, breaking through his very skin. And then he turns, and like that, he is gone. Ferredin recognizes him instantly as his brother father, and speeds off towards Dragon Mount, searching for a man that looks just like his Uncle Darvin. Jean heads to find the council and finds Dag in charge. The Dark Friends either rounded up or dead. Ferredin remembers that he left Sakub and makes a 180 in the other direction back to the town to find his favorite little monkey, Aiel. Dag is now in charge of the town, and we find that he clove the face in of a councilman who told him that his betrothed deserved her fate. He was made the mayor. He was also encouraged by the townsfolk to continue the trades with the Dark Friends from out of town. He is conflicted, but the town is clear. They want it to continue. He pays them money from the treasury for finding out that the mayor and other Dark Friends in the council had embezzled from them, and the party finds out his fiance's name, the one from the tower, was Moiraine. With that, the session was drawn to a close. Well, what a night. What a session. I can't even begin to tell you what the mood was like, how exciting this is getting. Balsamon, a mysterious figure, seemingly clad in the light, appearing out of nowhere in the sky. Of dirty, keeping Dark Friends. Spicy. I'm your Dungeon Master, Darian, and until next time, Tyshar Giraffivores.